On this episode of the Pats Podcast, Adam and I finally meet in person after 3 years. Stick around. Let's be better athletic trainers. Before we begin, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, UPMC Sports Medicine, for their continued support of Pats and athletic trainers in the state of Pennsylvania. For more information, visit them at www.upmc.com. So, we are the guests today, Adam. What do you think about that?
It feels a little bit different being the guest, but I feel like we did one or two of these before, right? Where we just kind of chatted and talked through some stuff. So, yeah, not the first one, but yeah.
I can say you're taller in person than I imagined.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're taller in person. No, yeah, you probably match up. I think your technology is a little bit better on your end. So what you actually look like, I feel like came through pretty well. I'm always in the little cubby and you only see from like here up. I feel like I've seen your full body before.
Okay.
So.
That's been the weirdest thing about coming to convention this week is I've been, for the last couple years, we've been working with the EB and working with all the awesome people that put this together. I've never met them. I got here, I didn't recognize half of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm over here, I think, Adam, who's that? Yo, that's Shelly. Like, oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah. No, I mean, come to Pat's convention, the symposium. It's a big deal. You know, you really get to network. You get to meet people. You get to introduce yourself to the board, right? Some Hall of Famers, and really just get to. I mean, it's networking, but it's more than that. It's about getting to know people and knowing where your profession came from. How we got to where we are, and then where we can go in the future, right? So I think coming to Symposium is a really big deal, and I think y'all should come. If you're not here this weekend, hopefully next year you take a look and see some good programming and come in and have some CEUs from Pat's. It's an affordable option. Yeah. It's
all about building the relationships.
Yeah.
I think we had a couple people on earlier yesterday. We talked about relationship building.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you've had some good guests over the weekend, right?
You guys are in treat for the next few months. We've got some big news, but we recorded a bunch of shows this weekend to kind of fill out the time. We are officially announcing Adam and I are stepping down from hosting the podcast. We're still going to be involved on the back end.
Yeah.
But we are looking for a couple new hosts. Our hope is we find a couple people that are really excited about the profession and really want to take this podcast to the next level.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more, Phil. I mean, it was really fun and exciting for us to kind of get the groundwork laid and have all the behind the scenes things kind of worked out. But I think we're both professionally pretty busy in our lives, professionally and with family and everything else. And it's just time for us to step away from the primary roles or the behind the microphone role, I guess, as the host. And we're looking for 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whoever's interested and can put together a good reel for us to kind of evaluate you. I think that's what we're looking for.
Pat's Technology Committee. So it's technologypats@gmail.com.
I believe so. Yes.
We should know that because that's kind of our committee.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. You know, that's kind of good thing to explain, right? So the Pat's Podcast is part of the Pennsylvania Athletic Trainers Society, right? We got started through the Technology Committee, right? Is that technically the name right now? So the Technology Committee, Jesse Townsend is our chair of the committee. Is Lindsay still co-chair, or is it just?
No, it's just Jesse. Just Jesse. Chair. Lindsay will hop on a call from time to time as a liaison to some other committees.
Right. Yep. So we work under the Technology Committee. And they've given us the opportunity to make this podcast. And like I said, we're pretty proud of where it's gone. Oh, yeah. We're just too busy to continue it, and we don't want it to go to the wayside, right?
We've also, I mean, the groundwork's been laid, and I like I said before, I'm really excited to see what a younger athletic trainer would take this and run with it and make it their own.
Whoa, are you calling me old?
I'm calling myself old.
Okay. You speak for yourself, bro. No, we are. We're old and well, not old, but we are not as probably up to date on some of the newer technology that some of the younger folks are. So yeah, we're excited.
Is definitely not my forte.
And let's be straight though too. Like if there is somebody our age or older that's interested in doing it, you're welcome to apply. That we're not pushing for somebody younger specifically, right?
Right.
Yeah. Just want to clarify that.
We just want somebody excited that wants to make this their own and help push the profession forward, a little bit more of like an invisible light kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about like some of the behind the scenes
So
stuff?
how did we start this? Let's kind of go. Let's start
Okay.
from the beginning. So it was 2019.
Okay.
Before the world completely changed.
Was it before COVID?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
We got on the whole Zoom production before the Zoom production was a thing.
Was like as legit as it is now. Yeah.
Yeah, like with the tools we had with Zoom are nothing what they were a year ago.
Yeah, that's crazy to think. So it was before COVID. I honestly don't even remember. I just remember. I forget how I had
so it was, what was it? It was a initiative that the executive board pushed to the tech committee.
So that happened because Nate Nestor was the parliamentarian who I share an office with. One time I off the cuff said, "Hey, it would be cool to have a Pat's podcast." Yeah. So a couple weeks later, there was a push from the board to have a Pat's podcast. I was now part of the tech committee. And brought that to the committee, and then you jumped on board right away. You were like, "Yep, let's do it."
I've been looking for years to try to figure out how to merge my passion for photography and in athletic training. And when you brought up podcasts, I was just like, "Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
let's give it a go."
Yep. And I'll say selfishly, like the reason that I wanted to get into it at the beginning was to learn how to podcast because I think it's cool, but also you get to meet so many cool speakers and guests on the podcast. So like you literally get to interview anybody you want about any topic you want, right? And there's no better way to learn about a new topic than one, researching your presenter or your guest, and then actually being able to have that conversation like you and I are having right now, right? Like it's an in-depth one-on-one conversation. You can take it anywhere you want. And it just you meet so many cool people and you learn so much good stuff. So I think it's very valuable. Yeah.
Learned a ton of stuff. Was able to, get people that I wanted to talk to. Like what I wanted to learn about, how they became an athletic trainer, what struggles they did, how to make myself a better practitioner.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was our season one.
Season one was like an intro season.
Yeah.
Where we talked to we talked to some veterans.
Yeah.
Kind of got to know story.
Got the history.
Where the profession started.
Yeah. And that was our goal, right? Like, because we were just trying to get our feet wet, have some guests that we knew would bring some valuable information. And that were highlights that were highlighting Pat's, right? Because it was the Pat's. It is the Pat's podcast. We wanted to obviously, honor the organization and make sure everybody understands where we came from, right? I think we did a pretty good job of that as we were getting our feet wet with those types of guests. But then we wanted to branch out after that, right? Like we
stayed within the state.
Yep.
Found some.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Some experts in the state on.
That's right. Season one was all Pennsylvania athletic trainers. That's right.
And then season two was, I think, mainly Pennsylvania.
It was. I don't think we had as
we talked to people at different levels.
We did. That's right. That was one of our goals, was to get somebody from each setting. I don't know if we actually accomplished every setting, but we really tried.
Industrial.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to talk about my industrial position.
Yeah. So there are some settings out there that we missed, but I think we got a pretty eclectic group of athletic trainers to kind of share their experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And give, and I think, one of my goals with that was to give the young professional those to explain the experiences, right? To kind of help guide them and see what they want to do with what their, with their degree. So,
and then this past season we did some of the committees.
Yes.
Little afternoon committees. I mean, one of my favorite episodes to do was the inclusion that, the
inclusivity,
diversity and
inclusivity.
Yep. That was, by far my favorite episode.
Yeah. I mean, that was a deep time of the year, in American history, right? Like that was it was a dark time. And I think it was a good opportunity. Again, it's almost selfish of us because we get that experience, and hopefully you all get to share in that experience, right? And as we're going through it, you also get some, positives from that. But yeah, that was a great episode. Like, so it was, again, it's all just selfish to me. Yeah.
I took like the whole microaggression thing. I was like, oh shoot, I do that.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yep.
And just without knowing it.
Well, and just being able to have those conversations with folks, on both sides of the aisle.
How to break the ice with a non-traditional athlete that you're not sure.
Yep. Just how to have those conversations and to feel in a comfortable situation where even if you said something you probably didn't want to, or, maybe it was something that could offend somebody, it was a safe space to do so. And we all collaborated and before the show, it was like, hey, like, this is a safe space. Like, if we say something, like, we'll address it, we'll talk about it, and then we'll move on. And I thought that was a great episode.
No, I like that format.
Yeah. Because that's a challenging topic for sure. Especially for two white males, like that's a very challenging topic for us. And I think it was very eye-opening and a great experience for both of us. So again, I hope you all enjoyed that as well. Learned something from it.
And then I've been really enjoying the article reviews with the authors.
Yeah.
That was,
I think that's where we kind of went to then, right? And that's kind of, I think my goal originally was to get there, right? Like, I think there was some work we need to do at the beginning.
You got to lay a foundation.
Yeah.
You got to get the name out. You got to establish. I mean, you just got to get comfortable in front of these mics.
Right. Yep. You got to get comfortable. You and I had to get comfortable with each other, our styles, just getting to know, when you are going to pause, like, I kind of feel it out, and you know what I mean? Like, we just, you get the better at reading each other.
Pauses.
But yeah, no, the kind of went back to we then transitioned to that more single topic, right? We highlight, like, I think we did BFR, we've done, I'm trying to think what else. I'm blanking right now, but
there's 28 episodes.
Are there really? Nice, good. But yeah, no, then we kind of got a little bit more topic specific, and I think that's where I'd like to see it go, is really continue with some of the research articles, deep diving into the latest and greatest just evidence,
more of the cutting edge, more the research that absolutely just changes the way we practice. That you might not have seen that article, or it might have been titled something that you weren't really interested in, but it really does affect the care we can give our patients.
I'm a huge clinical guy, right? So like that's all I've done in my career is work clinically. So I really enjoy those types of topics and deep diving into things that I can actually take away and use in my practice on Monday morning, right? There's obviously the diversity, inclusivity, all that stuff was really important. Very glad we did it.
Affects how we interact with our patients.
Absolutely, and that gets better results.
It can make the difference between an athlete buying into what we want to do and actually do the rehab, do the programs, get better, and somebody that just shuts down because it's an uncomfortable situation. Yeah, and
they're there because they have to be, especially in my setting, right? Because I was working. I'm no longer working in that setting, but I was working in a traditional college setting, and like, they don't have really options. They have to come to me. Now, granted, yes, they can go to physical therapy, but this is the easy option. The coach, basically tells them they have to go see you. So yeah, if they're not comfortable with you and you're not treating them with respect, yeah, absolutely, you're not going to get the same results, right? So yeah, you're exactly right. Those topics were very important, and I think really help all of us be better athletic trainers for sure.
Absolutely,
yeah. But I think that's. It's that. Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, I've heard that somewhere before, right?
I might have said it once or twice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's where I would like to see it go. And not that I care, like, I just want it to be successful. And like you said, I think we'll both still be here for support. You're still going to run a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yep. I'll still produce it, still kind of help on the back end there.
Yep.
I definitely want somebody to take over the social media part of it, getting the posts out, and working with me to figure out the different clips. Like we've always wanted to break an episode down into different clips and release it on Facebook or release it on Instagram, and just that never happened. We never really got in a flow for that.
No, I know, because and I do think we would get more viewership and more, just get the word out there.
I think it would add more value to it. Because, not everyone can sit down and listen to a half an hour, 40-minute conversation. But, those 1-2 minute, just quick clips, we could spread that information so much more efficiently.
Yep.
I think to a broader audience.
Because there was so many good little one-liners like that throughout all of the episodes. Even if we had time, we could go back through and pull those out from the old episodes.
Yep.
But yeah. So, I mean, I guess what we're really trying to say is we need more people in the tech committee in general. So if you're into social media, you're into technology, you're into websites, and are an athletic trainer in the Pennsylvania Athletic Trainers Society, we want you. We need you. We need your help. We need your support. And the more people we get like that, the better show we can put on, the better product we can have. The
better outreach we have as a professional society.
Yep.
And I mean, I'd love this I would love this to go national.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be
our
really cool.
viewership is mainly Pennsylvania.
Yep.
We have a couple other states that have at least logged on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
And I would imagine as we get more guests from outside of the state, it'll just organically get a little bit bigger. But yeah, no, I definitely would like that because I do think it's a good show and it has potential to be really good if we can get the right people to come in and take over. And we're still here to support, and we have a bigger team rather than just the two of us, right? Yeah, for sure.
So what's your new endeavor?
Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I was a Division III athletic trainer at Dickinson College for 14 years. So I went to Lock Haven University, graduated from there, went to East Stroudsburg for grad school, and then immediately after that went to Dickinson in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So I've been a clinical D3 athletic trainer for 14 years and decided to finally take the plunge and go out on my own. So I'm going to be primarily running through Richmond Training Systems. So that's my richmondtrainingsystems.com. That's my website. richmondtrainingsystems.com, richmondtrainingsystems.com. Anyway, no, just messing. But yeah, that is actually my website. But yeah, so I am going to be doing online fitness coaching and fitness and nutrition coaching, and then also doing athletic training on the side as well. So I will hopefully still see clients in person as an athletic trainer, and also do some per diem. But primarily, my job will be remote coaching. Yeah. Yep.
Coaching. That's fun.
Yep.
I absolutely support your endeavor.
Thank you.
I went off on my own a few years ago, and it's been awesome. I really, really do enjoy the headshots. Getting people behind a camera that really are not comfortable. Everyone gets self-conscious when you have a camera in front of you, the big lights, and just being able to put them at ease.
Yeah.
And take somebody who is incredibly nervous, incredibly self-conscious, and never has gotten a good headshot to be able to get them to relax and forget about just forget about what's going on, and then have them have that headshot that they love and they cherish, and they're proud to display it. And I think that's part of it is just to be proud of putting your face out there.
Yeah. So I feel like we probably have talked about this, but why don't you talk a little bit about your business? Tell us. I mean, I know you do some athletic training as well.
Hunter Photography. I was it 2019, right before everything happened. We decided to move on. It was a little bit definitely family issues. I wanted to spend time with my kids. So
Same.
I had an opportunity.
Same.
I had an opportunity to take my side hustle full time.
Yep.
And my wife and I we talked about it, and we said, well, this is the opportunity. So I gave myself 6 months. If I could build my client base up to something reasonable, I would give myself another 6 months.
Yeah.
So
how many months are we in now?
Yeah, we're 3 years later. So
nice.
I LLC'd in 17.
Congrats.
And what is this, 5 years now?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's been a trip. I do it started as originally just all business to business. So headshots, product shoots, marketing videos, things like that. And then when the pandemic hit, most of that all went away because everybody was just so scared.
Nobody wanted to be in person.
I'm like, I had 6 headshot sessions scheduled, and they called and I was like, hey, we're gonna cancel this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then I was fortunate. I had a couple very determined realtors that I would do a couple of their houses. And I got my Part 107 license to fly drones.
That's so cool.
And it's so much fun.
It's gotta be.
Totally geeking out.
Oh, I bet.
And I ended up picking up like 40 realtors that year. Got the company through the pandemic, and now back to the headshots, which that stuff that takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. It's usually like 2 or 3 months back and forth with the administrator.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
for like a big company.
I was gonna say, so you do like a whole company for like their
website.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to use them for.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you enjoy doing that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just the interaction with people, and it's amazing. Like when I made the transition, I was like, I'm leaving the profession. All these skills that I built as an athletic trainer, I'm essentially throwing away.
Yeah.
But I find every day on a day-to-day basis that the skills that we have, especially patient interaction, just makes it so much easier to take photographs.
I bet.
Like, not only just being able to coach somebody through body position, where to go, just knowing the anatomy.
Yeah.
That interaction with, like, think about that freshman athlete that sprained their ACL and like missed the season. They're freaking out. Just being able to, talk with them, calm them down,
Be
distract
empathetic.
them,
Yeah.
be empathetic. Yep. And get them, get to know them more on like a personal level without being, I don't want to say a friend.
But be able to get personal very quickly.
Yes.
Right. Like make a connection very quickly.
The connection. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just go from there. And I mean, once you build that connection, your athlete, your patient can buy into the services, are invested and actually do the exercises you recommend.
Right.
And surprisingly, I don't know why I'm surprised, but that transition beautifully to photography.
Yeah. Well, and if they, trip and fall and sprain their ankle, you can tape them up too.
I bring the EMTs in for that.
Probably better for liability insurance.
I don't have an SOP for
that's not a good idea. Scratch that. We'll edit that part out later.
No, we won't.
No. We love live. We love bloopers. It's great. But no, what else did we want to talk about? We wanted to really try to recruit some people to take over the podcast. Kind of saying our farewells, but again, we are still gonna be involved.
You may see us make a face on make an appearance.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah,
that'd be really cool.
What's that?
If to make it more episodic, so where there's like a theme over 2-3 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe have like, so we do the video portion of it for those of you who only listen online. Maybe, like go visit a facility and talk about, and when you're talking about BFR, actually show a session of BFR.
Yeah.
Actually be able to go see the cutting edge facilities that some of these researchers are working in and really understand the nuts and bolts of our profession a little bit better. I mean, let's face it. I don't know what Dickinson was like, but I've been stuck at some really small schools in the middle of nowhere that you don't have all the resources larger institutions have.
Yeah.
And, being able to
learning those tips and tricks about how to really spread your budget out and get the most out of what you have, for sure. Yeah. No, I love that. And I think if we, this has been our show, right? Like it's been our kind of rodeo, I guess we'll call it. And nobody else, we have other help. I shouldn't say nobody else has helped us, but I think having more of a team. I was just trying to like we're stepping aside because of the workload, right? And I don't want to make it sound like there's just so much, but I think we can delegate that or kind of spread that out amongst a team of us, right? If we can bring a couple more people on, and I think there's just so many possibilities that the show could go with, right? Yeah. I really do. You can take it any direction you want, and I think Phil and I are here to help you. So you have more than what we had when we started. So let's keep this thing going.
I'm excited to see what the next chapter of this show is going to be. So over the next few months, you're going to see a lot of the content that we recorded here.
Got a lot of content here. A lot of good people, and like I said, we said at the beginning, everybody's here, so it's a great time to come and network. And Phil did that, and he recorded it.
Yeah, a lot of it. I think 3 or 4 hours of content.
Oh wow, nice.
And today I've got 7 or 8.
I was gonna say you got a whole list of people. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you'll see a lot of that.
Yeah, so if you're interested, there's an application on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Click the link. We're asking to upload a quick video, just introducing yourself, giving us give us an idea of where you want to take the show, what you want to do, any experience that you've had, and get it off to the Pat's email or the technology committee email.
Tech committee email. Jesse is collecting those, and we'll review them, I guess.
And we'll get you guys on a call and check the interest level. If you're on board, let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yep. I'm very excited and hope to see this grow and get to the next level for sure.
So, what does being an athletic trainer? We got to throw our questions at each other.
Did we ever do a lightning round with each other before? Did we on one of those other episodes or no? I don't remember. I don't either. So this is completely unscripted. just putting it out there. I didn't know he was going to ask me any of these questions.
So, where do you see the profession going over the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh man, Phil.
Yeah, I'm hurting you right now.
That I've been having this conversation. I don't know, and it scares me. There's a lot of jobs that are open right now. And like I said, I just left Dickinson, and we typically have a lot more applicants than we did. I wasn't part of the process, so I don't know numbers or anything like that. But I just have been talking to so many people that have job openings, and it's just a struggle to find candidates out there. So I don't know where they're going. I think they're going more towards the non-traditional settings,
Okay.
which I think is great. And that's something we've pushed for so long, right? Is to that we can do other things, and that's great.
Have more options for like those of us like us that want to be home with our families. I mean, let's face it, athletic training
it's hard
tough with the schedule sometimes.
It's really hard, and I mean that's
those
why I'm
people
getting
that can do it. Oh my god, I am so impressed.
Yep.
I respect.
Well, I can
them
do it,
so much.
and there's people that can do it and still have a family life and still have
Yep.
work-life balance, and like that's tough.
Yeah.
And so kudos to you all. And yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Where do you think it's going?
So I think we're at a crossroads.
I
think with the transition to a master's entry level positions or just education,
Yep.
and just that push into the non-traditional settings.
Yeah.
We're at a transition. I'm really excited to see where the profession goes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it grow and we get a little bit more I would say influence over our coaches, over the people we work with.
It's a good way to put it.
I've seen that the over my tenure, when I originally started, we had a lot of like the older coaches that maybe not have had an athletic trainer when they were playing ball in college or high school. Now we have coaches that they were my athletes at the early part of my career.
Yeah.
And now they're back coaching.
Oh yeah, that level of respect is way higher for sure.
And they're automatically like, no, go see the athletic trainer.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell me. Go see them, and whatever they say, go.
Yep.
So I mean, we're getting it. It's happening, and I'm excited to see that continue to evolve.
Yeah. No, I think the profession is well respected and needed at this point. It's just now that we have earned that respect, they almost want us more. Right. Now nothing can happen without an athletic trainer. That's amazing. That's what we wanted. And we got it. But now we don't have enough athletic trainers to fill those spots. And I don't know if it's if that we don't have enough. It's that we aren't taking those low paying jobs anymore, which I think again,
that's what we need.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now we just have to get the jobs, the college, the high schools, those jobs that people seem to be going away from to actually pay us what we need to get us to come back.
Or provide a working environment that is reflective of pay.
Correct. Correct.
Because I mean, there's always going to be the need for that 24/7 on call, that high level intensity, 24/7 all the time. And there are people that can live like that and do that and excel in that. And I have a lot of respect. But I think some of the hiring agencies, some of the companies need to compensate for service like that.
Yes. Yeah. And compensation's big. Don't get me wrong. Like that is a big part of the conversation. But I think it's also the ability to have time off and have that work-life balance, right? Like and getting into the profession, we all know it's nights and weekends. That's our job. But I think there are constraints or boundaries that need to be put into place in certain situations. So that way the scheduling, I'm just talking like collegiate and in high school, to help with the athletic training, right? Like there doesn't need to be a midnight practice. Just my opinion. Throwing it out there.
Doesn't need to be a 6 a.m. practice after a road trip coming home.
Yeah. So there's just some common sense things that I think need to go into place at a lot of institutions to kind of help facilitate that work-life balance. But then just more staffing, right? Like I think, if you just have enough people to get by, what happens whenever you need to take a day off? Right. And I feel like that's most of our staffs, right? It's like, you don't want to take a day off because 1, you're letting down your athletes. 2, you're putting more work and burden on the rest of your staff.
But are you letting down your athletes?
I think we think that.
By taking that mental break, by taking that just stepping away for a little bit and then refreshing our energy, I feel we by staying, we're doing a disservice to our athletes. We need to be able to take a weekend off, take our kids to the ball game.
I agree.
Or take 2 weeks off and go to Disney. That would be awesome.
Phil just started
Back in
daydreaming about
January.
2 weeks of Disney World. All right, day one. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Phil. It is important, and I think that's the biggest thing that people don't see or don't understand is that when we get burnt out, it's not just that we're burnt out. We make bad decisions when we're burnt out, and bad decisions that healthcare makers make are lawsuits.
Yep. Yeah.
So employers, if you're listening, think about that. Do you want a lawsuit or do you want to give somebody a couple days off?
I was in a very fortunate situation probably about 10, 14 years ago where I helped develop a full-time floater position for the company I worked for. Yes, they are the sponsor of this episode. I absolutely loved the biggest thing for me with that was I took so much pride in the fact that I was able to allow my coworkers to go to their kids' game, to take that week off, to do the bereavement, say goodbye to a family member, to go get married,
weddings,
not in the summer,
right,
or try to
be in a wedding,
schedule the wedding around your team's playoff schedule.
Oh man. My best friend from high school got married in August during preseason. And I was just like, dude, like, what are you doing? But I was able to take off, which was great. And we were able to hire somebody. So I had a good working relationship with
or just, being able to just call off because you feel like crap.
Dude, I think that's the biggest thing. Like a literal mental health day is needed and necessary. Especially when you are working 6-7 days a week. Like you need a day off. Even if it's just one. And I don't think people quite understand that. And I think, okay, so I mean, we're ranting about this. So I think the other big thing, Phil, is like, because coaches do it too, right? But they don't complain. In my opinion, it's because they're setting the schedule.
Right.
It's whenever you don't have a choice, you're not setting the schedule, right? Like it's not the long hours, it's not the weekends. It's the fact that you have to be there without any other choice, right?
Yeah. It's like school lets out at 2, you do your after school stuff, you have one practice, and then you have a team that always practice at 9:00 at night.
For no reason.
And you have that 5-hour gap where you're just kind of like, hey, over here. Okay, I got all my Con Ed done. I got all my
my soap notes are up to date. We're good. Yep.
And you're just sitting there.
Yeah. It's just those things that are frustrating. And again, there's always going to be, it doesn't matter what job you have. There's always going to be things that are going to have pros and cons and negatives. But those are just, I guess, some of the things that frustrate you. I guess now we're going down the red. Do we want to go here?
But then on the frustrating part, the flip side is just the experiences that we can be afforded as athletes. I mean, I went to China for 8 days to work with international athletes.
That's amazing.
I've traveled all over the country working with USA Taekwondo, Red Bull BMX.
Dude.
Like
you've had some really cool experiences.
Stuff where it's like I have to train to be able to go do my job because we're in just extreme environments. And like, I look at my resume and I'm like, dude, I'm not even 40 yet. I've had so much fun.
You've had a lot of cool experiences, Phil. You really have.
It's all because, Matt Tinky let me shadow him at Ascension Academy. Like that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
Just my high school athletic training.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's it's a fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not go down the complaining rabbit hole. That's not what this show is
I don't
about.
think anyone's ever heard. But we've never done a candid episode.
We've done it.
We've tried.
But it was more like it was formatted. We had some ideas of what we wanted to talk about.
We've never just hit record and just seen where it goes for. Where we up to now, like 20 minutes?
Yeah,
half an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, you get me started on something, I'll just start ranting, and then there might be some inappropriate language on there, so we can cut that, right?
we can cut that. We've got the beep.
You actually have a.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the delay?
I have no idea. I forget what button I put it on.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Just smash them all. If I start ranting and cursing, that's why.
See what I think that one's the cheer track.
That's great. But yeah, no. What else did we want to hit on this episode? Anything?
Just we want to talk a little bit more about convention.
Yep.
This was fun to come back to.
Yeah.
Having not been at an in-person. Con Ed. Like I've done MedBridge for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Like it's easy. I
Yeah.
get my content. I
Right.
learn stuff, but you're not as invested.
No, yeah. There's just not that networking piece
Nope.
to it, the social
networking
aspect.
too. Like last night at the young professionals banquet or get together,
Yeah, yeah.
mix or whatever you want to
Social,
call
we'll call it. Yeah.
It was really good to talk to we had some students there, talk to um, some of the professionals that are graduating from the DAT programs, like
Yeah.
Moravians
Yeah.
and the other ones throughout the state. I think what Westchester has.
I'm not sure on all those.
But just seeing their view on the profession coming from a different.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a BS in athletics. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the DAT is that new and upcoming. Yeah, is that what I'm looking for? It's new and upcoming thing, right? That I get it. I do think they have a different perspective though. Like, and it's like an educated perspective, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think it is valuable because they're, really trying to push our profession in the right direction. We're more evidence based, not like we weren't ever, but like more evidence based, more objective outcome measures, right? To really push, hey, we can get results, but now we have the numbers to prove it. Let's get paid. Let's get all the things we were ranting about, right? Like I think those programs are helping us get there.
And I think that's something athletic trainers excel at.
Yeah.
We we have the subjective measures. Yes, I don't want to say trick my athlete, but mental power is mental power.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of that, it's some people call it voodoo, but get the research, prove it, and now we know what we're doing is actual. Yeah, it's actual. Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, just look at concussion. I mean, how we used to treat them to how we treat them now.
Wow, yeah.
And I mean, that's changed like 3 significant times in my career.
So many times. It's
my short
unreal.
career.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember in undergrad, if you didn't lose consciousness, like,
you're
was
fine.
it really even an issue? Like, you're
And now
fine.
we know if you lose consciousness, generally your return to play is slightly shorter.
Now you should probably go to the hospital if you lose consciousness. Let's go get that checked out. But the profession is always changing and emerging, and you have to stay on top of it. And I think PATS is a great place to do that. I think they put a pretty good program together. Pat myself on the back since that's partially my responsibility. But no, hopefully people do enjoy it.
This weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even call this a duty. This is just me and you hanging out talking. So you did all the brunt of the work on this end for the tech committee. But yeah, no, involved in the programming part of PATS as well, and that's also challenging but rewarding at the same time. So yeah, I hopefully people enjoyed the programming this week. We try our best to put an eclectic group of people together that is not only going to help push the profession forward, but also give you something you can use on Monday. Right? We want it to be practical.
Absolutely. All right, so. We torture all of our guests with this question. Last question of the day.
Yep.
What does being an athletic trainer mean to you?
Man, again, this was not scripted at all, so I'm just going to kind of wing this. But being an athletic trainer to me means being able to help student athletes through any situation, right? Like, regardless if it's mental health, if it's nutrition, if it's they're just struggling with their boyfriend or girlfriend, or they have an actual injury that needs to be evaluated and treated. I think just being there and being a resource for young athletes. So in my setting, right? I think depending on what setting you're in, it might be a little bit different, but I just feel like when you send a kid to college, you're sending them there, on their own. And I've always taken it upon myself, especially once I had a son, that I would treat all of my athletes like they were my own son or daughter, right? Like my first thing that goes through my mind is if this was my son or daughter and they had this injury, how would I treat them immediately? And that I hope that was portrayed to the athletes and to the parents, and I think it has been. But yeah, those are the biggest things for me as being an athletic trainer is just like knowing that you are a resource to somebody that may not have other resources.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about you, Phil? What does being an athletic trainer mean to you?
It's advocacy. It's always advocacy.
Okay.
We know our patients on a more personal level than most allied healthcare professionals do. Yeah. So we are in the perfect position to better understand our athletes or our patients' needs. Yep. And treating treating a patient, you're not treating an injury.
Right.
I can't say I've ever seen a single injury that is single layer.
Yeah.
There's always underlying layer. You've got family situation, you've got the social situations, financial, all this stuff to take into account. And we have the ability, we have the knowledge, the skill set, the connections, the networking to be able to offer our patients the services that they need, even if, it's a struggle for them to do it on their own. We find a way.
Find a way.
We absolutely find a way.
Always.
We're that jack of all trades, that big toolbox.
Yep.
I hate those analogies,
I
but
know,
they fit.
They do fit. They do fit. And I think, it's one of those things I think we're really good at. If we don't know something, we'll go find out, or we'll refer you to the right person.
Exactly.
But like you said, we know enough to know what we don't know to make sure that we refer if we need to.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we have the skill set, which is great.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. So do you think you can do it without your script?
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. So Phil, thanks for coming on the show today.
Adam, wonderful to be here for the final time.
Yeah. Until next, or no, wait. Let me see and think about it.
So we got to thank UPMC.
Okay. Thank you, UPMC, for sponsoring this episode. Until next time, I'm Adam Richmond.
And I'm Philip Hensler.
And this was the Pats Podcast. I think we got it.
I like it.
Nice.